Welcome to the new episode of your free coaching guide. Well, we have talked about micro and micro. We talk about mastering military, right? Unit composition. With the next lesson, it's gonna be adapting and learning from your games. Now, first of all, we have to learn from our games to get better, right? I randomly picked a player called Best PG. Now, he lost this game, but we need to understand why. First, these lines help you a lot to see what happened, right? You can see there was some military engagements, a fight left to right, villager numbers. But let's see what happened in the game. So for some reason, Best PG lost this game, but we need to understand why, right? Just talking about I lost this game because civilization is OP. I hate playing against English. It's not the only reason why you lose a game, right? The reason why you lose a game because you did something mistake or the build order was not good, which you need to practice over and you can even go against AI, just play against AI. No shame at all. But practice the build order and try to make everything better with that, right? See how many villagers where you put, see where the sheep spawning around the map to have like a better understanding. Like make sure you are not making your villagers in a weird way. Example, putting to the wood a little bit too earlier. That can help you a lot to understand your own mistakes. So now let's see why Best PG lost this game. First of all, his opponent goes with the council hall. One tower will be not enough against the lombos. Since what you need to know, the lombo range can easily outrange you, right? Which means if this tower is here and the lombo is on the right side, he can still shoot to your villagers even you get the arrow tablet. So you might need 2 towers for this and not 1 tower. Stable is good, but I would suggest you to make archer ranges since the HRE archers are really fast. But let's see how Best PG will play this situation out, right? He went with stable barrack. Now, another really important thing, and that could be a mistake, do not overmake the production building. Try to make as many production building, as much resource you can spend. If you have 4 barracks, and you can't make Melatorm out of that 4 barrack non-stop, then what was the point of making that 4 barrack? That 150 wood you spent on the barrack could be easily farmed. Because if you queue up unit from this 2 stable, and if you queue up unit from this 2 barrack, now you have full queue. Can you make unit after that? Not sure, because you spent a lot of resources and you got the feeling of, yeah, I have such a good economy, right? I can queue up so many units. But the reason why you had a chance to queue up so many units, because you had a resource bank that you are solely spending, and it's much harder to get that resource bank back to the, on the original state where you should be. Now, as you can see, he is building more farms. Now, you can work on this a little bit better. How? You may ask. As soon as you see you have a little bit more wood in your bank, you immediately start building farms. Many players or pro players as well not sending their wood immediately because most of them want to make rams, right? But in this situation, he is not really close to make a ram or to fight against the enemy player with a ram. So what you can do better as well, you can make more farms earlier just to make sure you have a stable food economy. And first, the farms always need to be put around the arc and chopper if you are playing with the HRE, or if you are playing with the civilization that doesn't have arc and chopper, right? You just build a mill and put 8 farm around it. Don't forget, every time when you don't build it correctly, we call it a beastie farm because beastie builds a mill and builds 32 farm around. That's a beastie farm. That's why I call beastie farm. So what you need to do, 1 mill, 8 farms around it, right? 1 mill, 8 farm, always 8 villager, 8 farm, 1 mill. You don't want to build like 1 mill and 16 farms around it. Like you don't want to do that. You always want to have 1 meal per 8 villager to make sure you gather enough food. Your food per minute gathering is correct. Now, as you can see, Best PG has a mistake here. He is not assigning his idle villagers, which show up as idle right now. You can see he is not assigning his idle villagers. So that 7 villager is idle for very long. He made some manathons, which is really good, but he is standing at his own base. So these are the small mistakes that can easily lose a game for yourself, right? I'm not even attacking the army I made. I'm going rather to castle and maybe let's get some H3 Manatorms, right? But every time when you have idle military, because we are not talking about only idle villagers, we are talking about idle military as well. Every time when your military is not doing anything, you just spend resources for no reason. You just throw out so much resource out of the window, it's not even worth it anymore. At the same time, you can see Thor, the red English player, who born in 86 and Best PG born in the future. He is scouting. He's looking around. He looked around Best PG base. He's seen that Best PG has man-at-arms, so he reacted with his own man-at-arm. He's slowly building farms as well, getting resources, upgrading some key upgrades like the melee damage and maybe a melee armor as well. But we will see. At the same time, Best PG is adding more and more barracks, even though he can't keep up the production from those barracks, because you can see that's not enough food to get villagers non-stop. And also he made a mistake. He accidentally queued up a scout as far from the town center. If you want to queue up a scout, you have 2 stable to make the scout, right? So he accidentally queued up even a scout as well from a TC. But what he makes better than Thor forgot to make villagers. So this is a really good thing to talk about. When you check your replace, you need to see if you forgot queuing up villagers, right? So as you can see at this point, or like a long time now, Thor forgot to make villagers, and you want to make villagers. You don't want to stop at least 100 villager, right? I'm telling 100 because you don't need to mimic the play of the pro player. It's so much. You know why most of the coaching sessions or people are not really getting better? Because everyone tries to mimic the pro player. Don't do that. If you want to play casually, normally your goal is not to be the top 100, top 10, or beat Beastie, of course, which is gonna take you a lot of time. Then just try to be good at your own level, and from there try to be better. Not to be a pro player. You don't need to mimic every little move what a pro player does. You just need to find your own style, your own control groups, your own hotkeys. How does it feel comfortable with you? Now again, you need to make sure these little mistakes I'm calling out, it's not about being a pro player or being on the way to be a pro player, but these small mistakes can help you a little bit to climb your rank. So let's see where I had so much food in the bank, why I built so many production building. Again, he's building more barracks, but he's not even using these barracks. He just started using that. Now if you queue out this amount of man-at-arm, these barracks will be not used, and there are 2 stable for no reason, right? You need to scout the enemy as well and decide on the scouting what you actually need to do, because building blindly will not help you at all to be better in Age of Empires 4. You always need to see the other side, scout him, and make an engagement on the farms. Now, there is a situation here. There is a white tower. So what you need to do, and not fight under the white tower. I can tell you, I never didn't see this game yet, but Best PG will fight under the white tower. What would you do? Go to the left or go to the right, and you can just easily attack the villagers that harvesting resources, right? So let's see what Best PG does. He first tried to attack a scout, and then he might fight under the white tower, which you don't want to do. You don't want to fight under the white tower because that's a keep. It's strong. It has 12 damage base without any kind of upgrades, so you don't want to go there. But I'm pretty sure that will happen. He will go under the white tower, right? But these are the small mistakes that you can actually learn from, and the next time when you play the game, you will not do these small mistakes. So now, if Thor does it really smart, he just pulls the units back a little bit, and he gonna wait for Best PG to attack under his white tower that also gives the network of castle. So again, small mistakes, way too many production build. He's not even making units out. Look, he has 6 production building that could be farmed, that could be 2 TC, that could be anything else, right? Because he can keep up making the units from this many. You need production buildings You really do. But having way too many production building is just waste of wood. Alright, so as you can see, Thor focusing the mango knife first. And again, what was the mistake here? Thor was not attack moving. So in the earlier episode, I made a video about mistakes the player do when they don't attack move, but they right click on the unit. And as you can see, Thor did the same mistake. He was running around like a headless chicken with his army. See, he's still dancing with the army, The reason behind that, because he is not attack moving. He just right click again. He right clicking. He's not attack moving. Oh my god, that's gonna be a Vololo, I can tell you that. So he is not attack moving. He is right clicking. Oh no, the Vololo. Ay 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 ay. Boom. I mean, that's alright. That's not crazy Vololo. So. Just a few HR in Manathon, but that was still a damage, right? Is the game over? No. Best PG is still with a 20 villager lead, military amount is the same, Best PG has 4 relics, so the game is not over. Even though he lost some Manathon to the Vololo, he can just remake the Manathons, he can remake the horse, and he just need to make more villager on the farms as well, because he's missing out on a lot of economy, right? Thor is rebuilding, he is still 20 villager behind because he forgot to make villagers. Best PG is doing good, he's non-stop making, that's what you need to look, that's what you need to do, queue up a lot of villager. If you need food to make units, just remove some of the villagers from the queue and just make Manathon. Arbraids are in, ranged armor really important, a few melee arbraid in as well. He's healing his units back, which is amazing. That's what you want to do. Even inspired warriors are coming from the Ragnitz Cathedral, so Best PG is playing this really well. Now making steel Manathons, making steel horses, and there is a boar gathering with way too many villagers. That's way too many villagers. 16 villager. Okay, he's moving it to another D location to gather that. While Thor, he's remaking army. At the same time, Best PG does the same thing. Okay, now another mistake. He has 3,200 gold in the bank. He could have gathered something else with villagers, right? I mean, it's fine, but maybe build a market. Buy food, buy wood. That's a really good idea as well. Okay, so let's see what happens. Thor pushes Best PG right now. Okay, amazing. At the same time, Best PG makes some mangonels. I guess against the Springgold against the mangonel. Yeah, this is not pop. On pop, Springgold would not work. Okay. So in season 9, Springgold will not be an anti-siege anymore. It's gonna be an anti-infantry. Okay. So as you can see, a little fight again. Ay, the Vololo. Ay, I think that Vololo gonna work. And Thor got every unit. So now, here, this is a good example. If you see a relic, right? If you see a player having a relic in his army, you have so many Springgold, they have 30 base damage. You can just use those Springgold to kill the monk, and you just need 3 of them, right? So you just need 3 Springgold can one-shot that monk. So what he should have done, instead of running around like a headless chicken, right? He can just command his Springgold and right-click on the monk and snipe it, so he doesn't get Vololoed. So these are the small mistakes you always have to check in a game. Do you have regions of food? Are you spending your wood correctly? Did you make a market to exchange your extra resources? Just like the 4,000 gold in the bank. He has so much gold because he has 4 relics. So he's playing it somewhere good. Understand the base of what he has to do. But building way too many production building. So like you can say, well, all the 6 production building is making units right now. Yes, that's correct. Because he never spent his food until the last time, right? So that's why he has like 30 Manathon in the queue, because he didn't spend his food. If he spent his food non-stop, he would not have that many Manathon in the queue. Or made horsemen, or made knights. On the other side, Thor mistake is not making villager. As you see, he's 20 villager behind. He's not making reinforcement. He's just having fun, right? He doesn't want to get better. Maybe he does, but we will see. So this is a really good example of checking your replays, see if your build order fails, see where did you wrong, see which unit you didn't focus, or where did you do the high insane mistake that just led you to lose the game. And that's why you always need to check your own replay to understand your mistakes or your building placements. Don't build in the Arcan Chapel, your Ragnitz, please. Alright, thank you so much for watching this episode as well on the free coach watching. This was the adapting and learning from your games, checking your own replay, and don't forget, always check your own build order as well to see if you made a mistake in your build order or not. See you guys on the next episode. Wow!